welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new, and welcome to my first ever horror vlog. That's right, I'm a wee little baby in the genre of horror. I have just started dabbling in to the world of horror, and I cannot wait to dive into it more. I don't know why it's taken me this long to really get into horror. Over the past year or so, I've definitely read more and more horror books. I've started with light horror to kind of see how I like it, and so far what I've read, I've really enjoyed for the most part, and I'm just excited to expand my reading in the genre. So I figured, you know what, this year I'm gonna do a few horror vlogs, reading ones that are either just really popular or ones that I've really been interested in. And in this video, we read two horrors that I have had on my list for a while. These are still in the category of light horror because I'm still dabbling, but they're ones that I've been really excited about. The first one is Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. This is a kind of haunted house story. Actually, both these books are kind of haunted house stories that take place in Mexico, and they each contain, here, let me just show you the other one first so that we can talk about them both at the same time. The second one is the Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, and like I said, they're both kind of haunted house stories that take place in Mexico, and they each have a little bit of Mexican history to them. This one takes place after the war, and this one covers the history of this specific town and having to do with mining in the UK and whatnot. Both very interesting, and I've heard nothing but good things about them both, so I'm excited to read them with you in this vlog. And I won't lie, this vlog is a bit of a roller coaster. We had something happen right at the beginning that was a bit of a downer, but don't worry, things went up from there. So the first clip you are gonna see, I am feeling a little low, but don't you fret. The vlog goes up from there, the mood goes up from there, and we have a grand old time reading both of these. But it's real life, it's what happened, and I love sharing those things with you. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive into the roller coaster that was this vlog. Heidi-ho, it is January 11th. It is 1/1/1, and I have vowed to always keep my vlogs and my videos completely and utterly real and raw, even if there are some downs in there. I always want to keep this a place of like positivity and a place that you can go to, you know, if you need something uplifting, but at the same time, I want my vlogs to be real. I want it to be things that I'm going through in real time, and today, y'all, is just not a good day. I just got laid off. I'm laughing because I've already cried my tears. It's coming in waves, but it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Not for any reason that like I did wrong or anything like that. It's just the company's making changes and going through some growing pains, and my job was just one of the ones that unfortunately didn't make the cut. And I mean, I work in the world of social media, which is always like ebbing and flowing, so I have no doubt that I will get another job, but like, I'm just a little sad. I really enjoyed the people that I worked with. I really enjoyed my work, and just the idea of job hunting, ugh, that sounds like the last thing I want to be doing right now. It totally blows. I'm just in like, it literally just happened like an hour ago, so I'm still in my like funk stage. I am a person of always like optimism and positivity. That's just like my outlook on everything. So like I'll get there and seeing it as an opportunity kind of thing, but right now I'm just like in my feels, and like thinking of job hunting and like beefing up my resume sounds awful. Not something that I want to do. So I'm bumming, you guys. I am bumming. It's just like even more stressful because we are also trying to house hunt right now. So obviously this puts things a little bit on hold again, and that whole process is just really frustrating. And like we just want to be in house, but now I obviously need to have a job, and like I was contract, so there's always that chance. It wasn't like an employee status, you know, I was contract, and that's unfortunately the name of the game in social media. Like it's usually contract, but this just brings on like a whole other set of like stresses that like I don't want to be doing, especially at the beginning of the year. I'm trying to focus on gratitude. But I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't completely gutted. So that's my little update, my life update. Let's turn this around because I don't want the rest of this video to be anywhere near this solemn. So I'm going to take a few days of just like hanging out, doing things that bring me joy, which is reading, hanging out with the dog, doing YouTube, pouring energy into something creative that I thoroughly enjoy. And then we're gonna revisit the whole resume job search thing starting next week. And I will keep you updated along the way. It will be a lot happier than this, I promise. Hello, I am in a much better headspace today. It is now Saturday, so a couple of days later, I am in a much more positive space and just looking forward to new opportunities. I appreciate you letting me share kind of the real and raw with you. That is something that I value a lot, especially when I watch other people's content, so I really appreciate that. But we're just going to move on and, like I said, take opportunities as they come. But I wanted to update you because I did start Mexican Gothic and I am loving the vibes of this book so far. Also, if you hear like a whirring in the background, I have the air fryer on. I'm currently in the middle of making lunch. So in case you hear that, apologies. But yes, I started this. I love it. I'm actually already like halfway through it. I am up to page 147, so about halfway through almost. And yeah, I am loving this. This is exactly what I love in like a creepy haunted house creepy family story. In this book, we are following Naomi, and her father gets a letter from Naomi's cousin saying, please come to my house in like this other city. She lives with her husband, and she's like, I'm sick, but something's going on. Please come help me. So her father sends Naomi out to check on things, see what's happening, and she arrives at the house, and it's called High Place, and it's very like known throughout the city. And she goes to check on her cousin, who is very sick, and her husband's there, who's weird, and she lives with like this whole family and the whole staff there, and the staff there is creepy. All of the staff is very kind of stoic and like, you must follow the rules, and we're all just like hard-faced and very serious about things. And they're like, you are not allowed to step out of line. You must follow the house rules while you're here. You're not allowed to leave the house unless you have a chaperone. You're not allowed to talk to anyone. Just very weird things. And then as her stay goes along, things just get weirder and weird. And she's trying to figure out, like, is her cousin actually sick? Is something going on? Is the house haunted? Like, who knows? And I honestly do not know where this is going to go. I'm like almost hoping it doesn't take like a human explanation. I wish that like this was going to be a pure ghost story. I don't know if that's the case or not. Either way, I don't think I'll be disappointed, because so far I'm really loving it. It's told in an incredibly amazing way. The writing is gorgeous. It's fun. It's intriguing. You want to keep reading every single thing, and we're also getting like a little bit of history from this house, and I just love it. So either way, I'll be happy, I think, but I do wish that this would take like a true haunting turn. But we'll just have to see. Like I said, it's Saturday. I'm about to make lunch. I'm making some crispy tofu sandwiches, which just sounds so good right now. I might make some soup go along with it. I'm gonna watch an episode of Wednesday. I'm rewatching it for the second time because I just love it so much. My husband just took the dog out on like a walk / beach run, so I have a little bit of time to myself, which is nice. Do you want a Trito? My goodness, be careful. Okay. Desperately need a Trito. Could you not drool on my books? Thanks. Good? Wishes? Good job. I'm gonna film an update now, okay? I'm gonna sit here. Nice sweetie. Okay. I am here with my update. I finished Mexican Gothic and I loved this. I'm giving it 4 stars. I had so much fun. This is exactly what I was looking for in a haunted house story. I've read quite a few over the past year, and none have quite lived up to my love for Home Before Dark, and I know that's kind of a cheesy haunted house story compared to like a classic like Haunting of Hill House, but that's just what I prefer, okay? And I'm not saying this is cheesy, it definitely was not. It was creepy, it was grotesque, it was dark. The atmosphere in this is perfection. I loved it. You can just feel the house and the creepiness of it, and then you have that added creepiness of the family. Every single character in this, like, you have to cast a shadow of doubt on every single character in this, minus obviously the main protagonist and her cousin, but like everyone else that was involved in the house, from her cousin's husband to his aunt to his grandfather to the help at the house, like everyone was a suspect in this case. And I love the direction that this went. I think the last update that I said, I wasn't sure if this was gonna go with like more human explanation or more like haunted explanation. And I'm not gonna spoil anything, obviously, but I love where this went. It was a little bit of a mixed bag, and this gave hints like throughout the entire book, but you're not quite sure they're hints until that reveal hits, and then you're like, oh. And I just loved it. I feel like the twist was so unique, the explanation was so unique and not something that I've seen done before, and I just love it. I had a blast. I loved it. I also obviously love the representation here and a little bit of the history behind this town. And in the author's note, she talks about kind of her inspiration behind this book and the town and this house specifically, and it's so interesting. So I had a good time. I loved it. And then I started the Hacienda. Sorry, Zeddy's gonna chew her bone in the background, so I apologize if you can hear that. But she will not be stopped, okay? Anyways, I started the Hacienda last night, and I'm only, I believe, like 40 pages into this. Let's see here. Yeah, 40 pages. But so far, I mean, I'm really enjoying it. We're really just setting up the story here. We have our main character, Beatrice, and she just got married to this very wealthy man, and they move into his childhood home, the Hacienda. So really, we're just kind of like getting set up here. She's gotten a tour of the house. She's met her sister-in-law, which she didn't know actually lived at the house, so that kind of threw her for a loop. And some creepy things have happened at the house, like very minor things that could just very easily be explained away, but obviously you know that something's going to come into play later. And then we've gotten a little bit of Beatrice's backstory of like what happened to her father and where this man kind of comes into play. And this was a marriage that was not supported by her mother or anything like that, so you kind of have like her like grieving that relationship with her mother while also like trying to just make a good life for herself and like prove to her mom that like it was the right decision. You have all of this like family drama happening, right? And I just am really liking the vibes of it. The descriptions of the house are impeccable. The writing in here is absolutely gorgeous, and it really just sets the tone and the atmosphere for the book, so I'm very much looking forward to diving more into this. I am listening to the audiobook, and I'm very thankful that I am, because I do not speak Spanish, okay? I took it in high school, but like I don't speak it, and in my head when I read things, obviously, like, I'm trying to pronounce them, but, like, I know that I am not pronouncing them correctly. So this audiobook is actually helping me a lot with the names and the names of things and the names of things in the town. There's a lot of titles in here, so it's really helping me with that and making sure they are pronounced correctly, so I'm very appreciative. Also, the narrator is doing a great job. There's actually 2 narrators because we also are getting a dual point of view from a man named Andres, who you know is going to like tie into the story somehow, and I'm really appreciating the audiobook for that. So we have her narrator, his narrator, and they're both doing an incredible job. So really enjoying the vibes of this as well. It is currently Monday, Martin Luther King Day. My husband is off from work and I obviously am off from work. And I was thinking about this and I was like, is it a true coincidence that I got laid off and I have to work on my resume and start job hunting during my first horror vlog that I've ever done? I don't think so. Because is there anything more horrifying than like working on your resume and like having to job hunt and do interviews and stuff like that? Like, yes, obviously there's more horrifying things, but like that is just a horrifying thing in itself. Like, no one wants to work on their resume. No one wants to be laid off. No one wants to job hunt and go through the interview process and do all of that. Like, that is the last thing that I want to do. So I was like, man, this is really like fate happening here. Like, we have horror of real life things and I'm also reading horror. I mean, if that isn't like the universe coming together, I don't know what is. But that's kind of my plan today, is to beef up my resume the best I can. I'm gonna try my best to do it myself, and if I feel like it's kind of not up to par, because things have changed so much in that world, and also when you're getting a job in social media, like, some things matter where some things don't. I might pay someone to do so. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm gonna try my best to like do it myself and get it up to where it needs to be and like update it from my last job and whatnot. I am gonna put on Harry Potter while I do it though, because that will just at least make the experience a little bit more enjoyable. So we are going to do that. I also have a very exciting package to unbox with you at some point during this vlog, and I also got my book of the month. So I'm not going to do it right now because I need to like really get going and stop procrastinating. So I will share with you this package in another clip at some point this week. Hi, hello. It is the next day. ZD is off on her pack adventure for the day. My husband is downstairs working, and I am about to edit a video, which is my audiobook recommendation video, which will already be up by the time this is up, so I will link it in the cards as well as down below. But I wanted to open up the packages with you because I just cannot wait any longer. So the first one is my book of the month, which I'm so excited for. I had to wait for this one because it was technically a pre-order, and I am so excited. What is this? Oh yeah, I totally forgot this was gonna be in there. If you didn't know, Book of the Month has like a little yearly challenge where you try to complete certain rings, and I did that last year, so I got to pick out a prize. I totally forgot I did this because this was like 3 weeks ago, but they sent me a little notepad, so cute. It says things I may or may not deal with later, which, like, yes, absolutely. Which totally reminds me, I actually need to set up my week and my bullet journal. It's Tuesday and I haven't done it yet. And oh, just a little card that says "Way to go, champ," because I've completed with that. So excited. So my pick for the month of January was Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo, and I will not lie, I have not read Ninth House yet because I was waiting for this. I want to read them back to back, so I cannot wait. I think I'm going to do it in February. If not, then definitely March. But now that I have this, I'm not sure that I can wait. And honestly, this is a creepy ass cover. This like decrepit rabbit on the front, gross. Gross, but like cool at the same time. So this is a thick one. Ninth House is also quite thick as well. So let's see, how many pages are we? 478. Oh, that's not that bad. I say that. It's really not. Now that I've like gotten into longer fantasy, I'm like, oh, under 500 pages? No problem. So this is my pick for January. And then my very sweet friend Lauren just moved, and she messaged me and was like, hey, I have some books that I think you might want. Can I send them to you? And I was like, well, absolutely. Let me pay for them, or at least pay for shipping. And she said no. So, I mean, what a gem. I am so excited. I know what's in here, but she did say she put in a surprise one too. So, I'm gonna open it with you. I cannot. I'm so excited. These books have been on my TBR for a long time now, but honestly was a little bit afraid to get into them again because oh my god, I'm so excited. Because I was afraid of fantasy for a long time, afraid that I wasn't going to understand it. Oh my word. Okay, this is how I know. I messaged her. We were talking about the series. I will show you in a second. We were talking about the series, and because there's two of them, and I wasn't sure which one to start with or where to start because they kind of overlap a little bit. And this is how I know that Lauren and I were meant to be friends. She put them in the box in the order that she suggests reading them. I'm just here for that. My perfectionist brain, is so excited. So before I hold this up, let me take out the one that doesn't belong with the series. I'm actually really excited about this. So this is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia, and she is the same author as Mexican Gothic, which I just read in this video. Crazy. So I'm very excited to pick up another title. I believe this is a YA, and I honestly don't know a whole ton about it, but I'm so excited. This is a gorgeous cover. If I've learned anything about her writing, that it's incredible. So excited about that one. Okay, I need to hold it up because this is just too much. So this is the Shadow and Bone trilogy and the Six of Crows. But she put them in the box, the order she suggests reading them in, which I just so appreciate because I was like, oh, I really want to start with Shadow and Bone because I want to watch the show. And she was like, well, the show gives a little bit about Six of Crows away, so you might want to read them all and then watch it. But oh my god, I'm so excited. So we have Shadow and Bone. Oh, I hate when they put stickers on the cover. So rude. But these are in such incredible condition, and I was going to buy these anyways, and now I don't have to. So we have Shadow and Bone. I'm obsessed with these covers. And then Siege and Storm. Probably don't have to go over them all with you, but I'm going to. So, Ruin and Rising. Ooh, this might be what... I don't know. I like the colors of the Siege and Storm one, but this one is striking. I'm obsessed. Okay. And then Six of Crows, of course. Love it. Crooked Kingdom. So excited. And then King of Scars, which I think it's just part of the Grishaverse. I think that's what this is, because all of these books are considered part of the Grishaverse in this series or whatever. And there's a couple of other ones that are listed on the back here. That is Language of Thorns and Lives of Saints. So I'm assuming this is after all of that. But I'm gonna have to do some research on it. Regardless, the cover is really cool, and I'm just so excited. Oh, this is a Target sticker. We can get her off with the hairdryer, but oh my god, I'm so pumped. I mean, now my reading is truly set for a while. Let's be real. We know that is such a lie. I'm just so stoked. So let's put these on the bookshelf, shall we? And also a special thank you to Lauren. I can't even put into words how stoked I am. And the fact that, like, she's just a gem and was like, let me send them to you. I've read them. I don't need them on my shelf. Like, I love bookish friends so much. So thank you, Lauren. What do you think of these braids? So, here's the deal. I cannot, for the life of me, do a French braid. I have tried. My fingers just do not allow a French braid to happen. I don't know what it is. I have tried a million times, a million different ways, and I just, like, do not have the dexterity to do that. I don't know why. So I saw a video on TikTok of these, like, twisty braids that, like, mimic French braids, and it actually worked. A TikTok thing that actually worked for me. Are we kidding? And now this is, like, my favorite, like, 4th day no wash hairstyle because it gets it out of my face, but, like, still looks cute. What do we think? I also think that this does make me look maybe just a little bit young. Maybe it's a little too young, but, like, I don't care. It's fine. It gets out of my face. It works with greasy hair, and I am just, like, so excited that I can do a hairstyle like this. It definitely took a little trial and error. Like, this one's a little wonky today, but, like, hi, I'm here for it. Anyways, I wanted to give you an update on the Hacienda. I have blown through this book pretty much. I am on page 282, so I only have like 50 pages of this left. I meant to give you an update like halfway through, but I've just been flying through it. I've been listening to the audiobook like while I'm doing other things, so obviously I'm getting through it a little bit faster than I would if I had just like sat down and read it, but still I'm really enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it as much as Mexican Gothic, but I'm still enjoying the story. I really love the atmosphere in this book, and also that was very present in Mexican Gothic. One of the things that I love, just like the atmosphere of these houses is so present. The descriptions, you can really visualize every little nook and cranny, and there's some creepy things happening inside of this house, and the descriptions of it are like so eerie and just like give you goosebumps. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that. I also am like really enjoying the relationship between Beatrice and Andres. Normally I would not like, I mean, you can't really ship them, can you? So Andres is the other point of view that we are getting in this book, and he is a priest, but he is also a witch, which is actually really cool. And you get like this whole history. He's been banned from the house for a long time, and you start to unravel his history of why and how he relates to the family and what happened there. There's also an underlying mystery about Rodolfo, who is Beatrice's husband and the owner of this house, of like his past wives and things like that. So there's definitely like a whole series of drama that's happening and like a mystery that's unfolding there, while also simultaneously being like a haunted house story, and I'm really liking it. But like I said, you can't really ship these two together because she's married and he's a priest slash witch, which is like totally not okay. But I really like them. So I'm going to ship them. There is like a hint of a little bit of just, I want to say connection happening. I could say romance, but I feel like at this point, because they both know it's kind of like forbidden, it's definitely more of a connection that they're having, and like I'm here for the connection. I also realize it's probably only happening because there's some weird shit happening in this house, but like that's okay. I'm still really enjoying that aspect of it. So overall, I mean, I'm going to finish this today no matter what. Obviously, like I said, I only have like 50 pages left, so I am excited to see how it unfolds. I'm not going to give any spoilers, obviously. It's a little hard for me to give an update of where I'm at right now because we have gotten one of the big reveals, but what I will say is that even though it was a little bit expected, I still really enjoy where it's going, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Because I feel like if I say anything else, I'm going to give things away. So I will obviously check in once I actually have finished this. I'm going to head to the library today, which is why I'm a little bit more like dressed with normal clothes on. I have a book to return, I have some holds to pick up, and I want to get a little bit of, do I call it work? Whatever. I'm going to be building like my content portfolio kind of thing, and I also have a video to edit, but I just feel like I need to get out of the house. The sun is actually out today. Can't believe it. We haven't seen the sun in what feels like forever. Those winter blues have been real, and I feel like I've been stuck inside because of the snow and because of just like being in a funk that I just need to get out of the house and like work somewhere else, and I freaking love working at the library. So I'm gonna bring my laptop, I'm gonna edit, I'm gonna start building my portfolio, and probably read a bit while I'm there as well. Maybe not. I am very excited about the holds I have to pick up though. Very excited. So that's my plan today, and I'll check back in with you when I finish the Hacienda. Okay, I have finished the Hacienda. I finished this yesterday afternoon. I wanted some time to sit with it before I rated it to kind of just like get my thoughts around it because I was kind of in between, but I think I'm gonna land on a 3.5. So still in between, but that's a solid rating to me. It's not sticking with me as much as Mexican Gothic is, and I'm okay comparing the two back to back because this book actually compares itself to Mexican Gothic. It says it's a mix of Mexican Gothic and The Haunting of Hill House, which like I totally get. That's definitely the vibe here. But Mexican Gothic is definitely sticking with me a little bit more. I just feel like the ending of that book is so unique and not something that I've seen done before. And And not to say that this is not a unique book by any means. I definitely enjoyed the story. I even enjoyed the little bit of romance that was happening throughout this book that like definitely was not traditional by any means, which I appreciate. And I did enjoy the ending. It's just I didn't enjoy it as much. It's not something that I feel is going to stick with me or be like super memorable. I'm already forgetting some details and I just finished it yesterday. But don't get me wrong, the atmosphere in this book is incredible. The writing is amazing, and I can see why so many people rated this book so highly. And a 3.5 is still a solid rating in my opinion. That still means to me that I really enjoyed it. There were things about it that I loved. It just wasn't like an absolute favorite or an automatic like I loved everything about it. There were some faults for me, but I can totally understand why other people love this book so much. And I'm so happy that I read it. I also really appreciate the history that's kind of woven throughout this book, and I also really liked the angle of witchcraft taken in this book, which is not something that I was expecting out of it. But overall, the ending just fell a little flat for me, and again, like I said, it just wasn't like something that's gonna stay with me or be super memorable, so that's why I landed on a 3.5. But I am so happy I had the experience of reading these both back to back. It just made for like a super incredible reading week. The writing in both of these is absolutely stunning. I would recommend them both. I definitely, like I said, prefer Mexican Gothic over the Hacienda, but like I still thoroughly enjoyed them both and would highly recommend them, especially for people who are just getting into horror, because they're not anything like too scary, too gruesome. There are some gross things that happen or a little bit creepy things that happen in both of them. This one's a little bit more creepy and a little bit more gross than this one is, for sure. There were definitely some points in this one where I was like, what? No, stop describing that right now. But more so over this one. But again, still enjoyed them both, and I would highly, highly, highly recommend them both. And like I said, I loved my reading experience reading them back. And that is it for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me this week. I'm sorry this vlog was such a roller coaster. And like I said, I always like to make sure my vlogs, because they do include like my real life, that I'm making sure they are authentic and real and raw. And this is just what happened this week, and I appreciate you letting me open up. I appreciate you being here as an outlet for me as I was going through this. And like I said, what better timing than to have like real life horror happen around a horror reading vlog. So you know what? It's just the universe's way of saying like, it's okay. And like, thank goodness for books as like an outlet. I'm just so grateful. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe if you are not already. Turn on the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
With you and I, the future is bright.